Good morning, Wayward Walker, Wayward Woofer, Wayward Geese, and Wayward Wednesday. We are, I think we're still in Ware, Massachusetts. Could be in Hardwick. Jack, all right, let's try this again. We're in oh, I don't know, all messed up now, got me all. We are in Ware. We're right close to Hardwick. I think Hardwick is on the other side of the river, which you can't see, but is over there. And we are on the Mass Central Rail Trail, a section that I think must have just opened, because I haven't been here before, but I haven't been up in this area for a while. I always knew there was a section. I don't think I could ever find it. Anyway, it's not marked on the All Trails map or anything. But here we are today on a beautiful day. And just reading some signs there. It says the trail ends in 1.6 miles. It also crosses the road. That is Church Street. Or Upper Church Street, depending what side of the road you're on, I guess. All right, let's see what it says here. This is going to be a long trip, I can tell already. So it's 1.6 miles down at dead ends. And I don't know how long that's going to go the other way, but we're going to do it. And it might take us a long time, but I'm hearing a train. How appropriate. There's an active train line on the other side of the river. I don't think we'll see it though. All right, anyway, we've been on the other sections of the Mass Central. This is one of my favorite rail trails that I've been on because usually we find stuff. And, some rail trails you go on and they just tear everything up. Here, in some sections of this trail, I found quite a bit of interesting things. So, I don't know what we'll find today, if anything. And as if you remember, this is the railroad. They called it the railroad to nowhere. It was like 100 miles long and didn't go through any major cities. It ran until, it might have ran into the early 70s. I haven't read anything about it for a while. Okay. This is a locals have put little signs up here or something. We're not going to read them. They don't have any new rail trail. Something about germs. All right, so we're going to keep walking. Or sort of walking. And then we'll be back. Now, I can hear the train. I don't think we're going to be able to see it. So we've got the river over there, which I believe is the Ware River or the Swift River, one of the two. And we're kind of in a valley. Right now we've got farmland on both sides of us. And you can see there's some good sized hills to that side. That's the west. And there's some of the east. That's why the railroad obviously had to go through here. You got a culvert down there. I actually drove up that road that's up over there. I think it's called Old Gilbertville Road, if I'm not mistaken. And very nice hilly, curvy road. along the sides of the ridge. Anyway, seen anything so far. The railroad over there is the Central Mass, or Mass Central, I forget what they call it now, which isn't really the same company as this. The Mass Central was here, but they go start in Palmer, and they go, I think they still, I don't know, they used to go as far as Barrier, whether they still do. Well, they must, because the track, I was up there the other day too. The track was actually in pretty good shape. And I actually came across a railroad bed up there, and I went to check yesterday to see what railroad used to be. Might have been part of the Mass Central as well. Oh, Jack. Anyway, we're going to keep walking, see what we find. All right, we've gone about 1/10 of a mile. Anyway, still hear the train. It could be, actually, the train could be in Palm. It could be a CSX or the other railroad that's down there. I forget what it's called now. Of course, one that goes down to Stafford Springs and through Munson. So it could be that. And just came across pieces of an old telegraph pole that have been cut. So that tells me they probably removed quite a bit of the railroad relics from here. And I'm looking to see if there's any kind of foundations or any structures that might have been here. I mean, this is a pretty I don't want to say desolate, but sparsely populated area. There wasn't a lot of industry, a lot of milk dairy farms up here. So, they did run passenger trains. Calvin Coolidge, when he was governor of Massachusetts, used to take the train from Northampton to Boston. But because it didn't really go through any big towns or cities, it really never took off. Of course, the towns that paid for it all expected that industries and things would move, but it didn't happen. Okay, we've got our first signs of life up here. The stone wall. Up there. Still some farm fields. There's the water. There's a waterfall here. Look at the culvert. Well, fanciest I've ever seen. Come on. Look at this side. Oh, that one's been remodeled. All right, so this, just to refresh your memories, this line goes through Hardwick, or more commonly known as Gilbertville. Parallels the other line, which was the Central Vermont back in the day, I think. Oh man, he's stopping everywhere. The world. All right, so anyway, and actually there's a couple of old railroad buildings still there. I don't think I've ever videoed them. Maybe we'll go up there and at the end of this. This one not that far. And look at them. There's a couple of passenger stations. One for the Central Mass, one for the Central Vermont. And I could be wrong on the names of the railroad. I think that was Central Vermont. There's a freight building still up there. And a couple other interesting buildings. Seems like it was quite a junction, perhaps. We may go up that way after. Let's see. Finally along the river where we can see it. I think it's pretty high. A lot of people fish in that river. I came up here the other day. Saw a couple of people waiters. And I believe this river comes out of the Quabbin Reservoir. Come on, Jack. So I shouldn't complain because he's not pulling me. He says, Dad, we haven't been out in a long time. It has been about, well, not this weekend. There we go. I think there's also part of, I keep seeing these signs for a canoe trail called the Blue Trail. I think that might be part of that as well. This would be a beautiful little stretch of road to hike. It's quite a climb over there if we were to go back up there. Here, there's a bench here. I don't know if that's just an island or if there's a split in the river, or two different rivers, I should say. Spot to sit. Almost looks like there's a trail on the other side. Over there. Could be just used by fishermen. Waterfall up there. No, we're not going down there. Okay, got some stonework, chain wall. All right, we'll be back. This looks like there's some kind of trail going up to that. So it's just a big boulder up there. But also posted, so we won't check it out. Won't be the train anymore. Nice wall up that way. A couple will come right down here. I think this one crosses the other side of the tracks. Can't tell right now. It also looks like it has another road. No, it doesn't continue across. No, that's not a road. See the other wall way up there. So it looks like a house or something on the top of the hill. Okay, we got A. We're going to the telegraph pole. There's quite looks like a big field up there. Flat. I can't see it there. It's all posted, so. Actually, when I went up, I noticed too, when I went up that road the other day, the road, I was actually looking for where the trail was. And all that land is posted, so it's no way from there down to here. Right. Interesting wide spot in the road, though. Let's see. That's an old road. I guess that was a dairy farm. And then might have a little siding here, or a platform or something. Could be. Okay, well, we've got a rusted relic down there. It's an old sofa bed. Probably a couch, something. But I don't know what the metal is. Interesting. Are you getting tired? You haven't walked anywhere. That's what that was. Quite a few people on this trail, actually. All the corners off. Let's go. Like a barn or a shed or something right up across the hill. Probably close to 70 out today, which is very nice. We'll take that. Not quite as warm as it was when we were in South Carolina, but hey, we'll take it. We're going to go to a ghost town today called Hampton City down in Rhode Island. But it looked like it was going to be raining there all day. I thought it was going to be raining up here or home, and then I looked out, saw the blue sky, said, let's try the rail trail. And here we are. That's interesting. I have no idea what those plants are, but a lot of them. Ooh, it's going to tell us. Come on, Jack. Native plant. Scouring rush horsetail. Okay. It's going to be coming to another rapid or something up here. As you can see through there, but little rapids. I'll come closer to the river up here too. I know I've said this in just probably every video I've recorded about this rail trail. You know, I pictured this 100 years ago. It must have been a beautiful trip. It does go through some nice country. Hard to see a lot of it now because of the trees, but picture this, you know, when there's no trees here. Look at all these trees, they're not all that old. It must have been quite something to see. It's like we're on if we go on the Southern New England Trail, same thing. Although that railroad never actually ran, but it was something to see as well. Okay, come across a large hole. I don't think it was a building. It was probably just used for fill, grab fill, but let's keep looking at it. Not seeing any stone wall or anything. Goes up there a little bit. Something on the other side. Not sure. Let's see. Not sure what that was because at this end of it, I can't see it. It's there, but it's so covered with thorns and stuff. I don't know what that could have been. The track isn't wide, so it wasn't anything where the train could get into it. But to load something or anything, they wouldn't have done that anyway. Definitely man-made, whatever it was. Look like it actually still goes, just not as wide up here. Maybe it's just for drainage. Don't know. I think we're almost to the end. We're going to turn around. I'm not sure. I have to look at the map. So we'll be back. Well, I think we're going to have to turn up here. Looks like the bed. We'll know once we get down here a little closer, but it looks like the bed went straight. But it's not made into a trail. And it's also very muddy, so that's probably why it's not. Guess we can continue that way. It was going about 1.25 miles. I said 1.5 miles, so should have a little while ago. A ways to go. A little telephone pole. I think that was on a railroad. Installed one. It's got a number on it. You can see, that's going to be the old bed. Too curvy on this one. This can't be original. All right, now I'm thinking, I wonder if that hole was up there. Maybe they took the fill, because I can't tell how old that was. Maybe they dug that out to make this the trail here. Because I'm pretty sure that over there is the rail bed. And it looks pretty wet, so I don't think the railroad would have put this here. Because it's not really that straight. I don't think they ever redid the rails. Although I know there is a section up in, I think it's in, might be still in Hardwick, where originally it was going to go through. Come over here, Jack. See, now this is interesting because that culvert looks like it's really old. Maybe there was a road here. Anyway, there is an abandoned bed up there somewhere from the original route where it was going to go, and then they changed it. But they did have it graded through there. I've looked for that and I've never been able to find it. It's been a while since I've been up that way. I've been up driving around a lot again, doing some work, part-time work, so get to go to all these places that I've been before but haven't been to in a while. So this is probably going to end up here because one of the old mills in Hardwick. I think it's still been used for something. I'm not sure what. I believe that was served by the Central Vermont, which would be on the other side of it. So this is interesting because I thought that this almost looks like we're going to come out to the fire station, not fire station, the train station is. Well, just keep going and find out, won't we? Look upriver, that might be an old dam. This mill. So look at all the windows in it, so there must be something in there. Or maybe several somethings, but beautiful river. A little cloudy, but still nice. I know I came up here and explored all this, but I didn't do a video on it. Took pictures of the middle. Train station. One of the train stations is still an old signal. What do they call them? Flag? Is it flag signal? I think. I don't know. Well, yeah, and it goes up and down. Like that. Very interesting. All of a sudden. I don't know where it goes. And we're back on the grade again. There's a house up there. And the whole mill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories high. This is the attic. Looks like there was something. And the mill's in good shape. So I think, again, I drove by there the other day. I don't remember. And I know, I don't know why I didn't see this when I was up here looking. Because I went familiar with this area. It's a covered bridge. I'm doing it, no? A covered bridge. And if you remember crossing that, and the rail bed continues on the other side because it goes past the old mill that's further up here. And it crosses the main road and heads on off that way to, I don't know what towns are over there now. Eventually ends up in Western Butland. I don't know. But anyway, so I went through there. Behind here, I couldn't find where it came out over here. So now I'm just curious if, well, we're going to find out in a minute. It's still the same mill. That's one huge mill. Looking at the history. I think I got a history of Hardwick somewhere. I'll keep going. It looks like the sign's telling us to stop, so let's see what we got up here. Alright, so this is the end of the trail, and you can see it's impassable over there. Like it must have got washed out at some point. Maybe, I don't know when, but you can see the smokestack and the other mill. You see the white, that's part of the mill. That's the other mill. That one I believe is closed. So if you look over here to the little place, I think. Maybe not. Could be though. Walls built up over there. That's interesting. So I came this way. It's 1.68 miles. We're going to head back. And if I don't video anything on the way back, we'll get back to the truck. And we're going to probably go to the other side. It's a nice day. It's an easy walk, so we like that. As you can hear, we're back at the beginning of the trail on Church Street. Near the road, let's go down to the river, but we're going to cross the street and continue. We've gone 3.25 miles. But as long as Jack wants to keep moving, we're going to keep moving. See where this is going to take us this way, and what we might find. I know eventually this is going to go to Ware, and actually some sections of it are still used as a siding in Ware. But we'll keep going and see what we come to. So we've got the remains of an old orchard over here. I don't know if it was bigger than that at one time, but what does this tell us? About the germs again? Nope, about the trail. So here's a little history of it. Not in the best of shape. Which is interesting because this trail hasn't been open. I don't think this trail's been open that long. Maybe I'm wrong. I used to come up Church Street every day. And I don't remember seeing it, but who knows? Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, I'm pretty sure that that's not an original mile marker. But who knows? Maybe it is. And now that we're on a different trail, we're on Pokey Puppy routine. It's okay. I don't know how far this is going to go, but we'll keep going until we either stop finding interesting things or pass out. One of the two. Should be away from the traffic noise. Yeah, one of the interesting things here. Well, people read it now, but that sign back there says farm pond, picnic table, so there must be a pond up there. There's a little side trail here. See where this takes us. Probably to the river. Not sure why there's mats here. Bench. Well, just a little loop us back to the trail. Looks like it. Yeah, well, it's something different. Okay, we got a solar farm up there. Not sure if that was serviced by the railroad or not. Going into a little pine forest. Again, I really don't have any idea how far this is going to go, but we'll keep going. The plans are for this trail to run all the way from Boston to Northampton. And I think they're pretty close to, well, I shouldn't say that, I don't really know. But I know there's a lot of it that is open. We were up in, it was last year maybe, went up to Belchertown. It was a fairly new section up there that ended at the bridge over the river, the very high bridge that went over into Three Rivers. I'm pretty sure I videoed that. Something up here, I can't tell what it is, but find out a little bit. Anyway, I know out near, go through Boston, Wayland, Sudbury, all out through that way. Hudson, I'm pretty sure they've opened it up. Pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know what we got ahead of us, but we'll see when we get there. I'm not sure if that's the end of the trail or not. Find out. Got a wall alongside of us. With a cut down pole, but I found out that these poles, the first one may have been a telegraph pole from the railroad. These are not. These were actually, must have been a power line that ran through here. Because I've seen several of them now that have the little mark number on them. So, the trail does end at the river. There's no bridge there. I'm wondering if this is where the bridge was. It'd be nice to see the abutments. But, I don't know. Oh, actually, I finally see a little green over there. Look at those poles. Pulled some of them out, and others they just left as they lay. Whatever that is, I think we can go around it. As soon as we get closer, nothing exciting, just a fence. We can keep going, so we're going to. There's a mural on it. I thought it was just graffiti. Let's go into the power lines. I'm surprised that nobody's added to it. All right, let's keep walking. All right, I think we're going to turn around. We only got like 3/10 of a mile to go to the river. As you can see, the wayward woofer is petering out. So we'll save that maybe for another day. And we're going to head back to the truck. And if we see anything interesting and new, we'll be back. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that wall up there. Because it's sort of serpentine. And it's kind of short. It just stops there. And then doesn't turn off anywhere. I don't know what it's going to be like down this end. I wonder if that might be some kind of Native American built stone effigy, stone row. It looks like it just ends up here. Well, usually it seems the effigies have a large stone. Oh, that one. Hold on, Jack. That one might have a head on it. Hard to say. It's interesting though. That's the only wall in this whole section that we've been on. That would be facing east. No other walls. Anomaly, as they say. All right, we're almost back to the truck. And we're going to wrap this up here. It's the Wayward Walk and the Wayward Woofer. Thanks for coming along. By the time we get done, it's going to be about 5 miles. Like, share, subscribe, comment. And we will see you next time in the woods.